Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about the price action from yesterday morning and talk about whether the MOASS was just illegally halted. And I also want to help people understand halts a little better and when they happen and what causes them. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, the Real Darkpool just tweeted saying, did the MOASS begin today on heavily shorted stocks? My God, there's more to that halt than we realise. So this is a screenshot of GameStop from one of the trading platforms on yesterday, Tuesday, the 29th of March. As we can see, the trading opened, GameStop moved up fairly quickly, and then all of a sudden there was a massive rocket candle all the way past $350 per share. GameStop rocketed back down, the stock was then halted, and then after the halt, both GameStop and AMC started trading lower over the next half hour to an hour. The exact same thing could be seen on AMC as well. Now from this singular screenshot, it's very hard to tell if this was a glitch or if this was the MOASS being illegally halted. On all of the other trading platforms, it does not show a massive rocket candle all the way past $350 for neither GameStop nor AMC. Now there are some indications that this wasn't actually a glitch. As you can see here, a different user was getting a number of notifications from E-Trade about AMC. Obviously this chart here is the GameStop chart, but this screenshot here shows a number of AMC notifications. This shows the ask price for AMC running over $150, over $200, over $450 and over $600 per share. So you could say that actually both stocks ran up massively yesterday morning, well past their marked price of $34 a share for AMC, all the way past $650 per share on the ask side. Unusual Wells also tweeted saying earlier today GameStop and AMC were both halted. Numerous brokers, right before the halt in the morning spike, reported that far out of the money chains, $300 strikes and above, were in the money. We can see here from this screenshot, Robinhood was reporting that the GameStop $510 call options on this user's watch list was now in the money. And therefore, GameStop must have ran over $510 per share yesterday for this option to become in the money. This original Reddit post is titled saying there was literally no asks all the way up to approximately $500 per share. Nobody was selling. This caused the market makers or trading houses to reject the move and halt the stock. Supply and demand means nothing on Wall Street because it's a completely fraudulent system. And as Gary says, the halt on AMC earlier was a planned criminal attack that involved the SEC and the New York Stock Exchange and market makers. He said they had to cripple momentum and were more than happy to screw investors over. If you were on the fence about whether Gary Gensler protects us or Wall Street, you got your answer. And Nazim said today we've all witnessed some of the most illegal stuff that could have possibly happened. The fact they halted both AMC and GameStop trading within the first 5 minutes of trading shows just how screwed they are, and their only option is to collude with the SEC or resort to crime. But I think to determine if this was illegal market manipulation or illegal halting, we first have to understand when the halts actually happened, what causes a halt, and what actually happens when a stock is halted. So let's look minute by minute and find out exactly when the halt actually happened. At 9:31, AMC opened for trading and bounced around this region between $29 and $30. At 9:32, AMC started moving upwards. This was continued at 9:33, 9:34 and 9:35 as well, all the way to $34.33 per share. But this wasn't when AMC was halted at $34.33 per share, because at 9:36 the stock started falling rapidly. It was falling at 9:36, 9:37, 9:38 and 9:39 is when the stock was halted. And therefore AMC wasn't halted on the move upwards, it was halted on the move downwards. So now we know that AMC wasn't halted on the move upwards. Later on in this video, I'm going to talk about exactly how they managed to push the price down so fast in such a short space of time. But first, let's talk about why the AMC stock was halted and what actually happened during that halt. Guys, many of you may not have a lot of confidence in the stock market at the moment. There's all of this market manipulation and market fraud that seems to be going entirely unpunished. So this is a screenshot of halting rules for tier 1 and tier 2 securities in various price brackets. And that's why I personally also invest in cryptocurrency, especially now that it's starting to break out. I personally like to use BlockFi, and right now if you sign up to BlockFi using the link in the description below, you can currently get up to $250 in free Bitcoin. More than 500,000 people and 350 institutions globally use BlockFi to manage over $10 billion in assets. BlockFi is entirely free to use and requires no minimum balance. BlockFi also offers a rewards credit card with an introductory rate of 3.5% cashback on your purchases, also paid in crypto, so you can continue to accumulate more and more. There's also no annual fees and no foreign transaction fees either, and the card is currently available in the United States. So guys, be sure to sign up to BlockFi using the link in the description below to get up to $250 in free Bitcoin. So AMC is in this second row here because AMC is a tier 2 NMS security with a stock price of above $3 per share. So basically if the AMC price deviates by 10% or more in a 5-minute period, then trading will be halted on the AMC stock. So because AMC fell from around $34 all the way down to $29 per share, that's obviously over 10%, and that's why AMC was halted on the move downwards. And Darkpool tweet is saying when a stock is halted, is it usually frozen with the min ask and max bid prices posted? He said that would cause unsophisticated brokers to pick up the data temporarily and cause alerts system-wide and throw off certain charts. We could see here on AMC there was obviously a buy order at 1 cent per share because obviously some retail investor had tried to buy AMC at 1 cent per share. Obviously this trade wouldn't go through because nobody would be willing to sell AMC at 1 cent per share. And again, on the other end of the spectrum, there is a retail investor out there with a sell order at $600,000 per share. Obviously, that sell wasn't filled because right now, there's nobody willing to buy an AMC share for $600,000 per share. It's very easy to place a limit buy or a limit sell order, but obviously it doesn't guarantee that these trades actually end up being executed because the limit price that you place may not be that close to the actual mark price or current price of that stock. I can place as many buy orders for AMC at 1 cent per share as I like, but obviously those buy orders aren't going to be filled because nobody would be willing to sell me their AMC at 1 cent per share. So that's effectively what caused all of these alerts on Robinhood and on E-Trade to be set off, because effectively the minimum bid price and the maximum ask price of that stock was kept. Obviously all of those trades going on in the middle were frozen and were removed, but the minimum bid and maximum ask prices were kept, causing these alerts to be triggered. And this post from Superstonk does a brilliant job explaining exactly what caused the price of AMC to fall from $34 all the way down to $28 in such a small period of time. The post says go to any YouTube stock stream for AMC and play back to 9:30 AM and watch from there. You can find one that shows the full NBBO tape, which is the National Best Bid and Offer, or the Level 2. He says this morning we saw a controlled pump and dump from the opening bell to trigger a downward halt and create panic and headroom for OTC maneuvers. And he says this is how they hacked the VWAP and LULD, which is the limit up, limit down halt. So the limit up, limit down is triggered when the price moves away from the average price, aka the VWAP or volume weighted average price. When the stock surges straight upwards from open, that won't trigger the circuit breaker because the volume weighted average price is going up at nearly the same rate as the trading price. So this is why AMC wasn't halted on the way up from $30 to $34, because even though that move is above 10%, it wasn't above 10% of the volume weighted average price. Maybe the volume weighted average price was $32 or $33 per share, and therefore 10% above that would have been $35 or $36. And he says, but then it dropped more than 5% or 10% for AMC on lower volume. This means the stock price falls significantly below the average price because it's a volume weighted average price. Therefore, the volume weighted average price still stayed at $32 or $33, but AMC fell all the way to $28 per share, which is well above 10%. And he said this was enough to trigger a downward halt and spread fear and panic and crush the momentum that AMC and GameStop had out of the gates. And he said notice how the dip finishes and the halt starts at exactly the same price point as the morning pump begins. And he said the fact that they did the same thing with popcorn or AMC at the same time means this was a derivatives or ETF maneuver to the entire concentrated short basket. And he says, SEC, wake up. This is plain and obvious manipulation out in the open, and if the regulators do not react to this event, it will prove beyond doubt that they are complicit in this crime. And he said, I encourage everyone to file a complaint at the SEC, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the Financial Ombudsman. So therefore, even though this wasn't necessarily an illegal halt, this was illegal market manipulation to pump the price of AMC up to increase that volume weighted average price, because they knew there'd be tons of retail buy orders straight out of the gates. They then threw in massive waves of sell orders to try and crush the price down, causing a halt, which would effectively cause apes to panic and would reduce the retail buying movement. Obviously, you can see throughout the rest of the day, AMC moved from $26 per share all the way up to $31 per share, which is an additional $5 movement. Now, obviously, if the hedgies didn't perform this illegal market manipulation, AMC would have ran from $30 all the way up to $34 and would have ran an additional $5 or $6 on top of that, all the way to $40 and above. I do find it very interesting how they pushed AMC up to $34.33, but didn't push it up any higher. I personally think this $34, $35 region has a lot of significance. Obviously, if we can move through this $34, $35 region, it's basically a clear shot to $40 and much higher, all the way to $48 and above. This $34, $35 region is the only key area of resistance because it has a number of line taps over the last 9 months. We can see this $35 region acted as support back here in October, back here in September, and acted as resistance and support back here in July and August time. And therefore, I think if we can break through this $34, $35 region, it's basically a clear shot up to $45 and a clear shot up to $53 from there. Guys, be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think about the price action from yesterday and whether you think there was some illegal market manipulation and illegal halting taking place. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.